Hey, welcome to the post-Trump-matic stress recovery program, and damn it, 5-year-old in court? More cuts to human services? More harm to Americans? Jesus Christ. It's an ethical violation to diagnose people who are not our patients as a therapist, okay? I tell this to my other clinician friends on my listserv, so I don't label any individuals of our executive branch in this way. I don't label them. I might call someone the suppurating pustule on a hog's anus, however. Sincere apologies to any hogs who have been offended by that remark. Or perhaps I would use the term like lick-spittle-toady minions, but I don't apologize to cartoon characters. Always find a way to respect what others believe to be sacred, except when it's bullshit. Not saying that there could be a few sacred people out there, I just don't believe any of them are politicians. But what really needs to be respected as sacred are the rights for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for women, men, white, black, brown, yellow, red, Christian, Jew, Muslim, gay, straight, bi, trans, you name it. Respect does not mean agreement. It also doesn't mean ridicule. As one of my former clients, a priest, once said to me, "John, God loves the sinner but hates the sin." Yeah, I get it. But one of my favorite authors, Anne Lamott, wrote, "Another name for God is not me." So, boys and girls, the black magical word of the day is demagoguery. Can you say demagoguery? A demagogue is a person, especially a political leader, who gains power and popularity by arousing the emotions and passions and prejudices of the people, exaggerating dangers to stoke fears, lying for emotional effect, or other rhetoric that tends to drown out reasoned deliberation. Can you say demagogue, boys and girls? I know you can. Can you, Pope Donaldo? Meanwhile, outside the ranch for now, Elon Musk believes that the fundamental weakness of Western civilization is empathy. Yeah, I believe you may be right, Elon, with a few qualifications. There is the problem of nuance and distinction that the Department of Government efficiency had no efficiency in, hence the chainsaw approach. So my nuanced version of your sneering take on compassion would, having empathy for those that don't have empathy is indeed a weakness. So go suck an egg or GSAD. Your choice, Elon. I don't believe deportation to be a sacred right, especially when we have people already given asylum, visas, green cards, or they have naturalized citizens or have followed the channels to apply for citizenship. However, Trump, through the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, it's a U.S. federal law that grants a president wartime authority to detain or deport non-U.S. citizens of enemy countries. I didn't know we were in an undeclared war with Venezuela. This has illegally enabled ICE, Immigration and Custom Enforcement, to arrest and deport people based on the allegations that they belong to a vicious gang. The last time it was used was during World War II when innocent Japanese citizens were imprisoned in internment camps. Funny how when we falsely imprison people, most countries say, you get to go to camp. It'll be wonderful and beautiful. It'll be beautiful and free showers. It'll be great. Now, being 33% Jewish, I assume I would be given a free shower too. But in case you were interested, here's the invalid and unreliable point system the administration and ICE uses to determine a winning deportation number. If a migrant scores 8 points or more across multiple categories, then they could be determined to be part of the TDA. But if scores are only found in the symbolism or association categories, then a supervisor must be consulted. So you're a terrorist and you say, I'm a member of Tren de Aragua. You win 10 points and get arrested. Brilliant. Yes, so many of them are doing that. So, of course, if you are a Latin American with a Michael Jordan tattoo, or the tattoo of a crown or a watch or a train or a star, and pose for a picture with some friends of friends, and some white guy says, yeah, maybe he's in a gang, or you had a criminal record and have been rehabilitated in recovery and are helping the community, then, wham, bam, thank you, man, border Barbie. Look at her. And ICE take you. You are deported to El Salvador and spend the rest of your life in a prison for terrorists. Why, Christy? Why? I think it's a Stockholm syndrome. It may be regret when you kill the family dog, or refuse to believe in pandemics, or to have the power to make men protect their family jewels. I might be pissed off that someone has the idea, belief, or attitude. I am pissed off that we can be inhuman to our fellow humans. There are way more immoral actions than thoughts. To be hateful puts me in the same boat as the haters. We've forgotten how to agree to disagree without vilifying the other's belief or even that person themselves. It's not about hating the haters. It's about stopping actions that are hateful, that devalue and degrade and lies that justify those actions. By the way, being brutally honest merely justifies being brutal. How about just be honest? Do you know why Abraham Lincoln was called Honest Abe? Abraham Lincoln was nicknamed Honest Abe because of his reputation for unwavering honesty and integrity, particularly during his time as a lawyer, believe it or not. His commitment to ethical practices and his refusal to engage in shady dealings established him as a man of trust. He was known for his fair and honest approach to cases, even when it meant potentially losing a client or a fee. I don't believe Lincoln would ever tell lies like, the tale of the 50 million, no, make it 100 million in condoms for Hamas, or blame Ukraine for starting the war on Russia, or deny that 140 officers were assaulted on January 6th and pardon those that assaulted them. The endless lying about losing the free and fair 2020 election. And Canadian people like his idea of Canada becoming the 51st state. And then there's a wild exaggeration of the increase in autism versus acknowledging the increase in reporting of autism. And of course, I'll stop the wars in one day and consumer prices will all go down. So what do? In general, lying isn't against the law, except in, here we go, perjury, lying under oath during a legal proceeding. It's illegal because it interferes with justice, like giving false testimony in court. And the penalties for that are felony charges, fines, and prison time. Lying, again, filing false reports and lying to police or other authorities. It's illegal because it wastes public resources and can harm others. Falsely reporting a crime or emergency, like calling 911 with a fake report, or suing the government for, a bad election. Fraud. It's lying to deceive someone financial or for personal gain. It's illegal because it causes harm or loss to others. Insurance fraud, credit card fraud, lying on a loan application fraud. I think that happened too. False advertising is also lying. That's illegal. Businesses making untrue claims about their products or services. It's illegal because it misleads consumers and violates consumer protection laws, but fortunately we got rid of everybody to oversee that. Lying on official documents, what it is, providing false information on forms like tax returns, immigration forms, job applications, and some of those jobs because they require truthful disclosure under law. So there's something called obstruction of justice, lying or hiding information that interferes with investigations or legal proceedings. It impedes law enforcement or court processes. And defamation, in some cases, lying in a way that harms another person's reputation. If it's spoken, it's slander. If it's written, it's libel. It's illegal because it can cause damage to a person or business and Victims can sue for compensation. Some people lost cases. But what happens when you control the law and the Justice Department and the legislature and even some judges? What happens? Well, I never heard anyone say, speak loudly but carry a very tiny stick. You're probably going to get your ass kicked there if you do, having the little stick. Nor have I heard, speak loudly and carry a big stick. Because if you do, you must like to antagonize people and countries to fight. Whoops. I also didn't hear speak softly but carry a small stick, because nobody's going to hear or see you anyway. I would suggest the following corrected interpretation of talk softly but carry a big stick would be: start with humility, follow through with compassion and integrity, and find ways to fight that are legal and constitutional. Vote and encourage voting. Support and participate in elections at all levels. Tyrannical regimes often depend on low voter turnout or voter suppression. Educate others about the importance of voting. Organize peaceful protests. Engage in or organize nonviolent demonstrations, marches, sit-ins to raise awareness and show resistance. Peaceful protest is protected in many democracies and has a powerful historical track record. Support independent media and journalism. Tyrannies often control or manipulate information. Support, share, and donate to independent news organizations, journalists and whistleblowers who expose corruption and abuse. Hey, run for office yourself. Not me, I'm too old. But run for office or support reform-minded candidates. Change can come from within the system. Run for local or national office, or support candidates who stand for transparency, justice, and democratic values. Engage in civil society. Join or form nonprofits, advocacy groups, unions, or community organizations that promote civil liberties, government accountability, and social justice. Educate and raise awareness. Host community events. Write blogs. Teach classes. Post on social media to inform others about their rights, about historical examples of tyranny and how to resist it. Use legal channels to challenge injustice. File lawsuits. Demand government transparency through freedom of information requests, or support legal defense funds that challenge unconstitutional or oppressive laws. Participate in economic resistance. Engage in or organize boycotts, ethical buying, and divestment campaigns to economically pressure companies or institutions complicit in tyranny. Build parallel institutions, support or build alternative media platforms, educational institutions, or mutual aid networks that can operate outside tyrannical control and serve communities independently. Document and expose abuses, record and publicize human rights violations, abuse of power, or systemic corruption. Accurate, well-documented information can be a powerful tool for exchange and international pressure. That's all I got for today's show. That was enough, huh? Remember, lead with respect, follow with compassion, rinse and repeat. If that still doesn't work, refer to those top 10 legal things to fight for democracy. Thanks for showing up. For these ideas and more, check out my books. The Paradox Bridge, Suggestions in Life for Those Who Live with the Critically Controlling, for Kindle and paperback editions, as well as Audible for the audio edition of Directions in Life for the Occasionally Confused. You can also get directions for free if you're an Amazon Prime member, all through the oligarchy of Amazon.com. All proceeds will go to making sure I can hightail it out of the country in the event of being targeted by the current administration. Thanks for showing up.